Inchman.
Arabrup, what do you say?
Sul, hello, and Lavas. Welcome to another episode of the Payne Family Ultimate Decades Challenge. The year's 1389, it's day 3, and we're starting with the Miskinnis household, the main Miskinnis household, I should say, where Vilcus has passed away. It was his time. It was his time. His time was up. So we've lost him, as we knew was going to happen. And as you saw from the beginning of this episode, he wasn't the only one in danger. An event occurred for this year that's taken its toll. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rolls up here. They're timestamped if you don't want to see them and you want to skip ahead. So in terms of the bad winter rolls of 1389, I'm doing them in 1388 so that I know. So Mackie's first. Number 2, a sickness calls. Oh my gosh. That's like a general sickness. Yikes. What about the pains? Number 19, winter bonding. Thank goodness. What about the Martin family? Number 15, winter crafting. Okay. What about the Smiths? That's the main Smith families, Cade's family. Unusual fortune. That's so classic, Cade. That's so funny. Next up is the Blackwoods. Number 12, barely hanging on. Oh gosh. What about the main Woodhampses? They're barely hanging on. But winter bonding, that's cute. What about Hugh Woodhamps, who's moved out on his own? Winter crafting, that's fine. What about Briar Bogart? Number 11, barely hanging on, that's okay. What about Briar's sister Rose and her wife and adopted children? The same. Wow, okay. What about Gregory Brewer's home? Frostbite and amputation. It's going to have to be Gregory. He went out ill-prepared and he had to have a permanent injury because he got hurt when he was out there. But that's okay. He lived. What about the Jacobson family? Number 12, barely hanging on, but they're fine. What about James Greystrokes family? Number 17, they're fine. Hidden cash. What about the Haberdashers? Barely hanging on. Okay, I can take it. What about Alec Blunt? Number 13. Oh, another family helps. Neighborly aid. That's really cute. What about Cole Smith? Oh my gosh. Food runs out. Everyone suffers from malnutrition. They have to use the Great Famine rules for survival. I'll deal with that in 1389. Whoa. What about the Shepherds? Neighborly aid. What about Richard Jacobson's little family? Number 12, barely hanging on, that's fine. What about Pompey rhymes with Stompy? Winter crafting, sounds like him. What about Lane of Lancaster and Company? Oh, neighborly aid, that's nice. That makes sense for them because they're all so close-knit over there. What about the Hagens? Number 10. Oh, Dang, dude, it's a sickness. It's a different sickness. It's only a 25% chance, whereas the one that the Mackey family got is a 50% chance. This sucks. Okay, what about the Howards? Barely hanging on. What about Alaric Fitzhenry? Barely hanging on, but he's fine. What about the de Fenwick family? Number 9, the same sickness that the Hagens got. So it's a 25% chance that they will be removed from this world. What about the de Percys? 17 is a hidden cache, so they're fine. Flores family, healthy and warm, classic of them. What about Beatrix's family in France? Unusual fortune. What about Edmund and Alvar's family in France? Neighborly aid. Things go so well for them over there. What about Yulo and Agna? They've moved out. They lose their animals, but that's fine. What about Jelva? Number 10, sickness, the 25% chance one. What about Ramunis? Ramunis is living out on his own currently. He went out to do a walkabout in the wild, and he just rolled number 1, which is death of the family. And it would be, if it happened in a household, the entire family would go down. So in a way, it's really lucky that it was Ramunis and not the Sims who are going to come next. But wow. I guess it makes sense. He's out in the wild. It would be very easy to starve out there. He can't get back because the winter is so bad. Gosh. What about Vilcus and company? A hidden cache found. They find me hidden away while their sun stars. Oh God, that makes me really sad. What about Raphael and his family? Number 3. Someone's getting a permanent injury. I assume it's going to be Raphael. I can't imagine he'd send his wife out in the cold. What about Alexis and them? Number 18, healthy and warm. They were well prepared. That makes sense because you know that Avalda wasn't going to let anything bad happen to them. She's prepared for anything. And what about Egla and Sophia's home? Number 11, barely hanging on, but they get through. Wow, crazy. Okay. There it is. So in the Mackey household, they got a sickness calls, and basically I've got a roll to see which one of them is affected, and then they have to flip a coin. So I'm going to say number 1 is obviously Kieran, number 2 is Isla, number 3 is A, and number 4 is Maeve. So who is it going to be? Maeve, oh my gosh. Is she going to live? Heads, she survives. Tails, she doesn't. Oh my gosh. Oh, dang, dude. Okay. I'll plead for her, but this kind of feels like destiny that she doesn't make it, to be honest. Oh, that sucks. Cole's house got starvation. Oh, yeah. I should have said Cole's daughter, Lark, had a baby out of wedlock with Aldway Kirkland. He is the brother to Pompey's wife and to Raoul's wife. She had a child with him. Here he is, Braden. But they have to roll Great Famine rolls. So on a D8, the numbers 3 and 7 are deadly. Very horrible. Okay, first one doesn't count. So Cole first. He lives. What about Lark? She lives. What about his son, Jason? And Brayden, the baby. Oh my gosh. Dang, dude. Wow. So half of their household went down. So for the sickness spreads, basically an illness comes through and it could become a pretty bad situation. I've updated this one. So on a D6, the numbers 2 and 4 now mean that you get ill and must flip a coin for survival. So the Hagens were the first house affected. Evelyn first. She's fine. What about Edelyn? Wait, 2 and 4. Evelyn is not fine. Sorry, I was going so quickly. Edelyn, Raoul's wife, is fine. What about Raoul himself? Dang, dude. What about Allison, the heiress? She's fine. And Sebastian, the son. Oh, Good God. Okay, the Defenwicks are next. Nicholas first. He's fine. What about his wife, Joan? Is fine. Their oldest, Alistair, is fine. Their second, well, their only son, I should have said, and their oldest daughter, Eleanor. Oh my gosh. And then I can't keep track of who came next in order. So Jane de Fenwick is fine. Eugenia de Fenwick is fine. Honoria de Fenwick is fine. And Elsbeth, the youngest, is fine. Wow. Okay. And then Gelva recently remarried in the background. So her husband first. Oh, dang. What about Gelva herself? And the child she had in the background is fine. Okay, interesting. So now we have to flip a coin to see if they're going to live where heads they live and tails they don't. So Evelyn Hagen first. She will not live. What about Raoul? No. And Sebastian? Oh my gosh. Okay. At least the baby has lived, and Edelyn is already pregnant again. I mean, it's their last baby try that she's pregnant with, but she is pregnant again. Oh my God. And at the Defenwicks, Eleanor got sick, so what about for her? Wow. That's the first child that they've lost, I think. I could be wrong. And Gelva's new husband, Ulysses, that we don't really care about, lives, of course. Could have used that for Raoul, but fine. Raphael and his family. So Raphael got frostbite basically when he went out. He was ill prepared for the cold weather, and so he got frostbite. And when that happened, that means that he's in pretty bad shape. He's going to make it, but he's in pretty bad shape currently. So he will not be able to come. He hasn't been able to come to the cremation of his father. Oh, I've just realized headline effects are off. He wasn't able to come to the cremation of his father. He hasn't been able to make it over. And Jillian is really scared. They've got two infants, the twins, the twinfants. And they've also got their son, Ritus, and they are very scared of coming over here now. So they couldn't come over to be here for the cremation. And they basically, sure, buddy. They basically haven't had a chance to come and pay their last respects. And in addition, the family is really worried because Ramunis was out. He was out in the middle of the wilderness by himself. He was on his kind of like spiritual journey. They saw him after the wedding and they haven't seen him since. And they know that the weather was pretty bad, but they can't get to him. And unfortunately, because nobody was there, there was nobody to be able to plead for him either. So it was a series of really unfortunate events, but it means that not only is Vilkas gone, but also his son, his first son with Tasman, Ramunis, has passed as well. Other notable consequences from that role in terms of like how it ended up shaking out after shaking out. Yeah, how it ended up shaking out, we'll say, after I went ahead and did all the pleading and stuff, is that, well, at Cole's family, it was really shocking. I was on my way there because his son and his grandson were actually in pretty bad danger. But right before I got there, Neighborhood Stories actually got Cole as well. And it said that I think it said that he passed away in a fire or something to do with the fire. So I interpreted it that he got sick. And because Cole and his wife passed away and he was kind of at the end of his story, I let him go. So at our old farm, the one that we moved away from when we came to Henford on Bagley, there is only Lark there. At the Defenwicks have had crazy good luck. They've had like 8 children and only lost one to a baby roll, I think, and all of their children so far have made it. But the oldest daughter, I think she's the oldest daughter, Eleanor, actually was the one who got sick and passed away from that there, and we could not successfully convince Grim to keep her. At the Hagens, Evelyn definitely went down, but Sebastian was okay and didn't have to be pled for, and we were able to convince Grim to give us back Raoul, so that was a really big win. Also, Maeve Mackey got sick, and I don't know, when it happened, I was kind of like, somehow this feels fated, but I went ahead and pled for her anyways, and despite pleading for her, Grim wouldn't give her back. It was so crazy. So Maeve is now gone as well, and it's really bizarre. It's almost like, so Kieran's line has a curse on it, and it's almost like the game was making sure that we knew that the curse isn't over just because Ríonach's not here and just because Grania sacrificed herself. Like, if we don't make it happen, then it seems like the game is going to make it happen. So, I don't know. I thought it was quite weird. And I don't know, it made me think of Ríonach, and it made me start to wonder when or how she might be coming back. In terms of why we had the terrible winter or the bad winter rolls, over the past 50 or so years of the challenge, there have been quite a few bad winters that were noted by chroniclers of the time, most of which I haven't included. Just like I haven't included most of the waves of the plague. Oh my gosh, it's happening. But basically, I decided that we were going to do that one, the one that was most recently. Do we have a bassinet? We don't have any bassinets, really. Oh no, there's one right here. We're not gonna have the baby in there. That's madness. We're not having it in Tasman's room. That would be crazy. That would be cruel to Tasman. Tasman, I know that you're really sad, but can you actually come over here? Can you ask to fill the baby first, please? Because you're supposed to be midwifing, because this is Jadwiga's first child, so she's got a bit of a risk going on here. Look at how nicely they get along with each other, even though their relationship isn't that great. That'd be nice. Oh, that's sweet. Thanks, Tasman. Let's go ahead and have this baby. So anyways, it was a bad winter, and this one of 1389 was pretty bad, so I thought let's go ahead and add it in. Go, Jadwiga, go. It would be nice if we could see the support that you've got here, but I guess they're over there blabbing to each other while you're doing the hard work of having a baby. Oh, it's a boy. I thought that perhaps if it was a boy, we might call it Vilcus, but now I wonder if it's too early. For now, I'm going to call the baby just baby. And when you guys let me know what you think, well, that's if the baby makes it. You'll let me know what you think about the name, and then we'll do like kind of a naming ceremony. It's just one, thank goodness. Thank goodness. And let's go ahead and bounce. I know that you've got to go to the toilet, rock cuddle, kiss baby's forehead, and then let's see how this goes. Hopefully it goes well. It's been a pretty trying day today in terms of all the Sims that needed to be gotten rid of. So hopefully this goes well. To survive this birth, Jadwiga cannot roll the numbers 1 or 11. That's it. Oh, that was close. And for the baby to survive, he cannot roll the numbers 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. Oh my gosh, he did make it. Thank goodness. Okay, okay. All right, success. A success story for us. Go ahead and use the toilet, and then you can apply some facial cleanser. Nobody wants you to get any acne. So during this time period, as we know, the 1300s kind of mark the beginning of what's known as the Little Ice Age, and this is when the climate dramatically changed so that winters were generally colder and longer and more brutal. As well as there were a lot of like extreme climactic events that were quite bizarre. Like there were a lot of really, really strong winds that blew over houses, blew over like almost entire towns were destroyed by winds or by tropical storms that came through even up as far as England. And during the winter of 1389, chroniclers of even the city of Montpellier report that there were such dramatic snowfalls that farmsteads were destroyed. Many people died either because their roofs caved in on them, their houses caved in on them, they died of hunger, they died of cold, or they died because their houses were destroyed from all of the snow. And so that's why 1389 was one that I thought we would go ahead and put into the rules. Congratulations on your baby, guys. It's so exciting. Kisses, Sheik. Now, that's not the only thing, though, because in this area, there's a lot of stuff building up. I don't know who you are, and no thank you. So in terms of the historical events in Lithuania around this time, in case we need a recap or just as a recap, there are two cousins currently involved. One is a guy named Jogaila. He is Grand Duke of Lithuania, and his cousin Vytautas and he had been very close when they were young. However, things have soured because Jogaila didn't want to share power of Lithuania with Vytautas' father, so he had his father captured, and during that time, his father died in captivity. Jogaila tried to say that the dad did it to himself. Nobody believed it, so take from that what you will. After that time, he also stripped his cousin of his lands and tried to give it to his own brother, Skirgaila, who I'm going to call Stabby Skirgaila just because it's easier to keep track of him, I think, if he has a nickname. Sorry if that's a bit extreme in terms of an interpretation of him historically. Now, Skirgaila was pretty peeved because the lands that he'd been given that had been Vytautas's had not been loyal to him. They were not willing to recognize his authority, and they basically caused a lot of trouble. They were siding with Vytautas at all turns, and he was pretty annoyed by that. He also learned at one point of a plot to take Vilnius in Vytautas's name in 1389. And so he looked at Vytautas and he was like, bro, you're causing me a lot of trouble, and I want to get rid of you because I am Stabby Skirgaila. Vytautas denied involvement, and he didn't try to save the men who were involved in that plot from execution. And so he presented during this time period as being sort of neutral, not really causing any problems. And this is important because at this point, Jogaila has control over Vytautas. He keeps him around him all the time. He brings him out places with him. And so Jogaila is trying to control his cousin, but he's in a really awkward position where even though his brother Stabby Skirgaila wants to eliminate him, and even though probably Jogaila wants to get rid of him, he can't. Because at this point in time, Jogaila is trapped in a really tough place. He's trying to appease his wife, King Jadwiga of Poland, who wants to convert Lithuania and who has ultimate control over her country. He has very little control of political decisions, and he has very little control of their relationship. So he has to make her happy or else. So Jogaila during this time is bringing in conversion efforts by building churches in the big cities, by bringing in priests, friars, and missionaries. And it's working kind of slowly over time, but what it's also doing is causing friction between him and his Lithuanian nobles. Because to try and make his wife happy, he's now diversified his court. It's not just Lithuanian nobles, it's also Polish nobles and religious people. And also this new religion is making them feel threatened. The Lithuanian nobles are starting to feel like they can't trust that Jogaila is going to have their back. They don't know that he's going to look after their interests or think about their rights as he's trying to appease his wife. And so they're turning to Vytautas to protect them and to be their leader. And because of all of this, Jogaila is in a tricky spot where he cannot do anything because he has to continue doing what his wife wants him to do. And if he tries to eliminate his cousin Vytautas, who's now starting to pose a pretty big threat to him, in terms of alliances and politics, then there's going to be a big issue. Like he's going to have a very clear and irrefutable reason to do it. Otherwise, the country is going to rebel and it's going to be a massive problem. It's going to start a civil war if he tries to get rid of his cousin without a good reason. And so he tries his best, Jogaila, to mediate between Stabby Skirgaila, his brother, and his cousin Vytautas. Vytautas, like I said, he's performing all of the right things. He's publicly doing what he's supposed to do and keeping the peace. However, Stabby Skirgaila can't take it, and instead he starts sending threatening warnings to Vytautas. This means that by 1389, Vytautas had had enough. He had taken shit from these guys for so long, and he was sick and tired of Jogaila's brother, Stabby Skirgaila, going after him. So he sent word to the order that if they allied with him, he would keep the promises he'd made to them earlier, and that way they could help him take care of the issue, and they would still get everything that they wanted. They said, okay, but we need some hostages. You have to cede Samogitian to us, and you have to agree to convert Lithuania. Now, remember the order do not trust Jogaila. Jogaila has lied to them so many times. And so they think at this point they're better off working with Vytautas, who at least has the loyalty of the Lithuanians. Vytautas said, cool, bro, let's do this thing. And for his hostages, he sent his wife, his sister, his brother, and 100 of his nobles. And this is the backdrop against which a civil war is about to begin, during which time the conflict between Jogaila and Vytautas will come to a head. But it doesn't start until next year, so we'll leave that there for now. Kind of off topic, but also historically important. Another battle happened in 1389. It was called the Battle of Kosovo. And during that battle, an emerging power, which was the Ottoman Empire, they're kind of a big deal historically, paves the way for its own future success in the area that was formerly known as the Byzantine Empire or the East Roman Empire, depending on the time you're talking about it. It's pretty interesting. Oh, sad. As soon as As soon as Pavilis walked away, his mom and his sister got sad again. Or at least his sister. She was pretty cheerful when he was over there. It's nice though. They're so close that they can cheer each other up even after times when they've lost their father, husband. Oh no, I hear alien music. No, Tasman! Dang it. Well, drat. Oh baby, what are we gonna name you? You guys will have to let me know in the comments what you think we should name the baby. He's made it so far, so things are going pretty well. Tasman, are you almost back from your abduction experience? As if she needed anything else in her day. Like, she's a widow, she's lost her husband, she's actually lost her firstborn son, she just doesn't know it yet, and now she's been kidnapped by aliens. I'm sorry, abducted they call it. I guess not only that, but that actually happened when I was filming the machinima as well, which is crazy. So I guess she was just destined for it. I don't know why. Something must have marked her for alien abduction. So on that note, we'll go ahead and leave these guys here, and in the morning we'll be over at Raoul's house where there are a couple of big things going on, so I will see you when we get there. Alright, here we are at the Hagens. I was dealing with background stuff, but got called here because our good pal Edelin is in pregnancy, in labor they call it, not in pregnancy, that's weird. Sebastian is over here. It is his birthday today. Congrats, little dude. It was Raoul's birthday yesterday, but I thought we should do it together. He's bubbling. So it's a big day for roles. Edelin is going to have the baby roles. Raoul has his birthday role and Sebastian has his role. And I'm pretty sure that this is their last baby try, Edelin and Raoul. And this is right after losing his mom, but of course, at least he was safe. Go, Edelin, go. I'm rooting for you and the baby. One baby is a little bit, it's just scary. It's the last of the Hagen name, dude. We're down to the last of the Hagen name right here in this household with maybe this baby and the baby that is being fed a bottle. Everybody ignore that. And it's a girl. Oh, that's cute. A name that was suggested was the name Sarah, spelled this way. And so let's go with that one. It's cute. It's cute. Sebastian and Sarah? I didn't even think about that until now. Aw, cute. Oh, a baby. For us? Bounce the baby, rock the baby, cuddle the baby, and kiss her forehead. And let's see how this is gonna go. To survive this birth, Edelin cannot roll the numbers 1 or 11. That's it. Oh, she's fine. And for the baby to survive, she cannot roll the numbers 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. Ooh, and she is fine. She's fine. Yay! Okay, and now we'd better go ahead and have Raoul's birthday before he ages up without us. You go ahead and do it first. Allison, give us a second, please. I did want his wife to be here for this, but I mean, he's gonna age up without us. Thanks, Allison! Allison is not really our sim, but she is the heiress to this estate and most of the money. Raoul is her kind of legal guardian, especially now that his mom has died. Their mom has died because she's his half-sister. So Raul is good, creative. He wants to be a painter. Ah, and loyal. You know what? Feels true to me. Allison, my friend, do you want to go to the bathroom since it's free currently? And then you might want to go take a nap. Like, you're pretty tired. She's really upset. Her mother obviously passed away. Oh my gosh, life is suffering. Because she feels responsible for him now because she saved his life. And she's sad to see that he's still struggling and unhappy. Dang, dude. That's wild. It's really cool though. Allison, you can go to Betty Buys. This is her private little room. This home is probably gonna have to change, or we might have to move because it's really smushy. I keep meaning to update it, but I just kind of really love this. I love all of it, so I don't really want to change it, but it is pretty smushy for this many Sims, especially when we've got infants. And then you can go to sleep because you're really tired, dude. And the baby, I'm sure, is going to wake up at some point. So Raul is dealing with the loss of his mother pretty well, I guess. He has got anger grief, but he's not overwhelmed by it. Allison is really sad. She's now technically an orphan, but she does have a half brother who's looking after her. That's his job. And luckily, Raul is a good guy. Like, he literally is a good sim who's creative and loyal. So he is the kind of guy that you would want to be responsible for your child. I thought that we had a bookcase here. Do we not? Gonna get one. I really want this one. This is really good for medieval times because look at how rare of the books, how few of the books there are. Oh, yeah, perfection. It's a little bit pre this period, but I'll take it. I thought this was a darker tone. There we go. You go ahead and read something. I don't really care what you read. You just go ahead and read because we're waiting for your son to wake up to age him up, see how the rolls go. But yeah, Raul is taking this pretty well. He's got a pretty good attitude. He's a pretty chill guy. You know, his mom was quite a bit older. She's had a crazy life. I was looking at it, and I think it said that she was born in 48, I want to say. She went through 2 waves of plague and all kinds of other stuff before that winter cold got her. It's incredible to think about what that would be like to have lived during this time period. I recently saw, buddy, please don't. I recently saw this video that was talking about the worst time to be alive, the worst time in medieval history to be alive. And I disagree with their assessment, but it was during this time period. I think there is a worse time to have been alive during the medieval period, but that's just my perspective. Okay, happy birthday, Sebastian. The heck? Okay, I'll deal with that in a second. I have to go over there anyways. It's Richard and Helena's birthdays. They survived, just as a heads up. Happy birthday, Sebastian. You've got this, little guy. I hope. Last of the Hagen name. Independent. Heck yeah, dude. The best kind of toddler. I say the last of the Hagen name because even though he now has a younger sister, if his younger sister marries, then she won't be able to pass the Hagen name down. So let's go ahead and modify them in cast, see if they're going to make it, and then I'll go and deal with Richard Jacobson's wife's pregnancy. To survive his toddler birthday, Sebastian cannot roll the numbers 4, 8, 12, or 16. Oh, thank goodness. And to survive his young adult birthday, Raul cannot roll the numbers 6 or 14. Heck yeah, everybody lives. Poor Edelyn, you need to go to sleep. I just loaded back. It was a success at the Jacobson house. Richard and his wife Liliana welcomed in another... Oh, Mr. Kirkland, go ahead and come in. This is Edelyn's father. And they actually, okay, I almost forgot. I meant to say this earlier, but forgot before as well. That when Raul came up for having to be pled for, I didn't believe that it would be successful. I thought for sure he was going down. Can you please put some birthday candles on this? No. And, can you meet your grandfather? And so I was thinking about how that would mean that it would be Edelyn and Allison, two females, here alone, and what that would mean. And so I was planning that her older brother, Aldway, actually, he was pretty nice sim, would be the one to come and take care of them. But Neighborhood Stories actually got him. He passed away. She was close with him, and he passed away from Neighborhood Stories. It was really crazy. So when Raul was saved, it almost felt like it was almost a trade. Like I didn't trade for them, obviously. It's just how it happened. But it kind of felt like it might have been that way. Oh, she wants to go and talk to her half nephew? I don't know. Oh, the game will now tell us. I don't have to do it. Oh, it just counts them as nephews. Okay, cool, cool. So anyways, it's really lucky that Raoul did survive because I'm not really sure what we would do about like a male figure would have to be involved, I think. Although I could be wrong. If you know differently, let me know. So anyways, the long story short is that it's just really lucky that it ended up working out okay in the end. Allison is, like I was trying to say before, the heiress. She has most of this money. A little bit will go to Raoul, and he will get set up with his own place. But she will keep this territory. She has control of this whole land. Well, she and her husband when she gets married. So she's probably going to marry pretty young, but she's a child still for 20 more days. So, oh, she likes affection. Poor little orphan Allison. Sucks. Are you going to sleep? Oh, you're overheating? Your son is down here. Put this out. Oh, yeah. Also, I know that it was the bad winter of 1389, but it's actually summer in the game, and so I just did the best that I could with the circumstances. I was tempted to have over the other nobles, but there's some drama over at Berengaria's and Lane's. Their servant has disappeared in the middle of the night along with her child, and so they don't really know what's going on, but it means that they're in desperate need of getting some help around there. Over at Pompey's, Genevieve and Trist have arrived. Oh my goodness. And so I've added on, wait, this isn't Pompey's? Is it? No, this is Berengaria and Lane. Sorry, I got confused about my own buildings. This is the Fitzroys. They're super full. They've got a lot of really young kids, so I don't think they want to come. Well, maybe they do want to come over. And then over here at Pompey's, he has had added on a place for like staff, and this is a stables, of course, duh. And so Trist and Genevieve have made it here. Genevieve is currently staying over here, and Trist is being put in the barn. They're not allowed to stay together. They're not married, of course. And so it's Pompey and his wife's responsibility to make sure that their morality isn't ruined or anything. But I did have Pompey go and talk to Genevieve to check in with her. And I just had them sort of chat a little bit, get to know each other, catch up, and oh my goodness. They just started doing romance on their own autonomously pretty much immediately. Like it was an almost immediate. As soon as they were around each other, they started like making out, they started cuddling. And at one point, Valora walked in, but she was so overwhelmed with the death of her brother that she didn't seem to notice what was going on. It was real weird. But lucky for them. You can brighten her day. And do you even have any cooking? Oh, you do. Good. Would you mind terribly? I know that you're grieving and it's not really your duty, but would you mind terribly going ahead and making some food? Thanks. Rule's having a bit of a sleep. You're going to get some food, and Allison is, oh my gosh, just being so helpful. She's such a helpful kid. I really like her. Is this Dagny? Yeah. Yep. Oh my goodness, that reminds me. Dagny, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to borrow you for a second. Can I just go ahead and change your outfit so that you're not wearing whatever this is? It's hot today. Here, you can have this. So last episode, Dagny, as you guys know, came over to the pirates' home and hung out, and she got along really well with Rune and Liv. And in the comments, somebody was like, what if she's trying to take Rune with her and she's trying to like amass a family that way? And what I didn't say, or and or what I ended up cutting is, first of all, that Dagny on her own had a child out of wedlock. I don't know who the father is. I don't know when it happened. I just like happened to be checking around the neighborhood and saw that she suddenly has a child. So I'll look into that and find out what the story is there. But very suspicious. Very suspicious. She just one day had a child. Second, when she was at the Christiansens, I was looking at Bess and Canul and dealing with their relationship, and Dagny asked Rune to be together. And he agreed, but they couldn't get to a location to perform the action. And I felt really weird about it because she is so much older than he is that I just kind of cut it out. But I did wonder at the time if she is trying to sort of collect magic and to make like a little family of occult children. If that's like part of the thing that's going on. I know it's just the autonomy of the game, but it does seem awfully suspicious. So I thought I'd let you guys know since it came up in the comments from last episode. He's such a good sim. He wants to donate to charity and to just help people. Oh, poor Allison. I know that she's not our sim, but I do feel like she's a really sweet kid. I feel really bad for her that her parents both died, and at least she's got, it must have been from one of her parents. At least she's got Raul. No, I don't think Raul is a strict dad. Maybe he is, actually. I don't know. But on that note, even though it's a bit earlier, I think I am going to go ahead and pull this episode to a close here. So in terms of the background events, the things that happened are that at the Smiths, Everil gave birth. While she was fine, the baby didn't make it, so that was pretty sad, especially because Prudence is missing and they don't know where she is. But Sabina also aged up to a child successfully, and the family did befriend the noble that they'd helped during the storm, and they will have some better opportunities in the future because of that, particularly the kids. And while they don't know where Prudence is, I don't mind telling you that Prudence is safe. She made it to Alaric, and she is working on her dream of fighting anyone who threatens her family and fighting her place in the world. Briar Bogart also welcomed a son named Basil, which is so cute. And for the Jacobson family, Richard and Helena both had their young adult birthdays, and both of them were successful with them, so that was pretty good. Helena is pregnant with the final of her baby tries. She's really hoping that this baby can make it. I don't know what her husband will do if it doesn't. And Richard's wife gave birth to another daughter successfully, so their little families are moving along. At Raphael's home, his twins became toddlers successfully. What a relief. And he is in recovery from frostbite. And then there were two kids who became infants. One is Adam Fitzroy's newest son, a kid named Guy. Very confusing to try and say. And our daughter at the main family, Hope, also. So all in all, a pretty successful half year. Aside from the bad winter rolls, everybody had really good rolls except for Everill's baby. But other than that, it was a completely blood-free year, I guess you could say. So anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this part. As always, let me know your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.